Lena with Brett and Lena's Healthy Gourmet Vidbits, and today I am making a chocolate avocado pie. So we're going to use our pie tin today, and we're going to start with the crust. I'm making my own crust. It's a really nice and easy recipe. You can buy store-bought, but I'm making it to make sure there's no extra ingredients that I don't want in there. It also makes it healthier for you. Now, a lot of you have asked about diet restrictions, things like that. You can always substitute. I'm using coconut oil to grease the pan. You can use butter, or you can use a spray if you like. But today I use just a little bit of the coconut oil and greased my pan here. Now, so we're going to start with the crust. I have my almond meal flour. Those of you who have seen a few of the vidbits before that I've done, I love this. It's almond meal. It's just ground almonds, ground flaxseed, and ground chia seed. It's a great combination, and it's really healthy for you as well. So I'm going to start with 2 cups of my almond flour mix here. There's 2. And then I have 3 tablespoons of coconut sugar. I'm going to use that. Again, you can use a refined processed sugar as well as if you want, but again, we're keeping it healthy here. So next I'm going to take a ½ teaspoon of baking powder. Put that in there. I always like to do just a little pinch of salt. And then here I have 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And now you can do, I have also 1 teaspoon of ginger. I did freshly grated ginger. I just love the flavor from the fresh ginger, but you can use a powdered ginger if you like as well. Just gonna add those in there too. So now I just mix the dry ingredients around a little bit, combine them. And now what you wanna do is you wanna add your coconut oil. You don't want it to be super firm, but you also don't want it completely liquid. You want it a little bit in the middle. So I'm just going to add that in. And then I'm going to combine this with my dry ingredients, and it's going to be kind of a crumbly consistency. You want to make sure to mix it up really good. All right, so you can see that it's got crumbly consistency here. And now at this point, I want to take 6 tablespoons of cold water. I'll just pour the water in, stick it in my refrigerator until I'm ready to mix the recipe, and then take it out. That way I know it's cold. Then I take my tablespoon and I just add the water 1 tablespoon at a time. And then I'm going to start to mix it up. With this crust, you still want it crumbly a little bit. You don't want it too wet. So that's why I add the water just a little bit at a time. All right, so now we're gonna take our pie crust and we're just gonna dump it into our already greased pan. And then you can use a spatula, you can use a spoon, you can use your fingers, but make sure you just kind of pat this out and get it nice and even. And if you use your fingers, you may even want to sprinkle a little more flour on here, just so your fingers don't get all goopy. I just find it's easier and quicker to use your fingers. But don't worry, I washed my hands. And it doesn't have to look perfect, because once you get your pie filling in there, nobody's going to see the crust. Okay, we have that done. Now we're going to refrigerate this for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven for 15. Okay, I've grabbed my pie crust out of the refrigerator, and now I'm going to put it in my preheated oven. It's preheated for 350. I'm just going to stick it in here for about 15 minutes till it's a nice toasty brown. Set my timer for 15 minutes. And now while that's cooking, I'm going to do my pie filling. Now, Like I said, chocolate avocado. I know some of you are cringing right now, but trust me, it's really good. Avocados are really good for you. They have a lot of nice, healthy fats. Also, it creates a nice consistency, the density of them, for not only pies, chocolate pudding, which we also have on our website, also creams, dips, add them to soup. It just makes it a little bit thicker and it's a nice consistency. And since avocados have a real mild flavor, it's not hard to disguise it. So we're gonna put these in our blender. Just 2 nice ripe avocados. You definitely don't want them too hard. Make sure when you squeeze that avocado that you make some dents in it. Okay, so we have our avocados in now. I'm gonna put the lid on. And then just turn it on and blend these up. Alright. So now we're gonna do the chocolate part. And I'm going to use my double boiler today. I'm gonna put it on a medium heat, about 4. What you do is you wanna fill your 3-quart pot with about a little less than halfway with water. And then put your double boiler down inside here. And then what you do is you're gonna start by adding 1 cup of chocolate chips. I used a nice dark chocolate. I enjoy that flavor. It's also healthier for you. It's about 63% cacao. They are gluten-free. Some you can find are dairy-free as well if you choose to go that route. And then we have our coconut oil. This is a 1/2 cup of coconut oil. And that's okay if it's more on the liquid side. You definitely want that. So we're just gonna dump them both right in here. Okay, so we're gonna keep stirring here. And when you're using a double boiler, you wanna make sure that you're constantly stirring so nothing gets burnt. I'm just gonna use my whisk here and just keep mixing this up until it's melted and nice and smooth. Okay, so I've gotten a great workout. This is nice and melted. All right, so now I have 1 cup of milk. I'm using almond milk. You can use coconut, rice, soy. You can also use regular milk. It's up to you. But I have a nice almond milk here. I'm just gonna pour this in as I stir. I have real maple syrup here. It's about 2/3 cup. It's really up to your taste and how sweet you like it. I'm using 2/3 cup. You can use 3/4. You may even need more. You might need less. You really just have to dial it in, but you can start with 2/3 the first time. And just pour that right in, stir it right in. And then lastly, you want to add another pinch of salt, just 1 pinch of salt here. Keep stirring that. All right, we have it nice and melted. We have it nice and mixed up. So now I'm going to turn my burner off. And as you know, the cookware stays hot for a while. So since it's going to stay hot still, I'm going to take my vanilla next. I have 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and now I'm going to add that in. All right. So then I'm just going to let this sit here a couple minutes and let it cool, just slightly, before I add it to my blender. All right, so now I'm going to take my double boiler and set that down here on the cutting board. All right, now I'm going to take my chocolate sauce and scoop it down. Make sure I don't miss a drop. And I pour the chocolate sauce right on the avocados in my blender already. Now we're going to blend this up Again, depending on what kind of blender you have, be careful because this is a thicker mixture with the avocados. You don't want to burn your motor out. All right, so I scraped down the sides to make sure there's no green globs on there, and I'm just gonna mix it up again. So we mix this up, make sure there's no green globs in there. There we go, perfect timing. Our pie crust is done. I'm going to take our pie crust out and I'm going to let it sit for a couple of minutes just so I can maneuver it without burning myself. So I've let my pie crust cool. I'm going to take it over here and we're going to add our delicious chocolate avocado pie filling. You just want to scoop it right in there. All right, so just get it all scooped in there. And then just take a spatula and even it out. Just take your pie tin and turn it a little bit. And there you are. Now the next thing you want to do is stick it in the refrigerator for about 3 hours. Let it chill, firm up, and then just serve. You can make your own whipped cream, put a little bit of fruit on the top, your delicious pie. Thank you for joining me at Brett and Lena's Healthy Gourmet Vidbits. Enjoy your wonderful avocado chocolate pie. Amaze your friends. And we'll see you next time.